Hello everybody, this is Arsenal. Today I would like to talk about prehistory art. The word prehistory means is before written record, but it does not mean our ancestors didn't leave anything else behind. For example, we got lots of rich cave painting and some early sculpture that has been left off, and we can see its cultural context within the several artwork they created back then. Let's begin with the Paleolithic period. The Paleo means old, lithic means a rock. So that's mean the whole word means people using stone tools. It's about 400 BC to 8000 before Christ. And the cave painting back then is mostly around the Franco-Cantabrian area, which means it's around southern France and northern Spain. And you can see the cave painting. Mostly, the main subject will be animals and hunting. You can, for example, on this horsey painting, you can see some arrows shooting through. And the other one, you can see the horse shape and with a lot of spot and even the silhouette of the hand. Cave painting have multiple purposes. One maybe is a ritual of passage, which means they become adults, and you might want to teach the next generation how to recognize their food, since there are a hunter-gatherer community society rather than the farming and contain animals. Also, it can be some sympathetic magic, like shaman ritual to try to cause some changes. And also, it can represent the hoping for fertility, because that is a main thing back. The environment back then was not that friendly to humankind to survive, so to give birth will be a pretty challenging thing. By the way, the light source back then is not like the one we're seeing on our photo right now. They probably use animal fat, so just a tiny little bit of flame that they're using. So if you ever seen the candles, probably on the birthday cake or something, when the winds blows or just move around the flame, the shadow move as well. So in the deep in the caves is probably very dark inside, and the light source makes everything, the shadow makes them probably looks like moving. And if you take enough hallucinating, you're probably tripping out in the cave that they held their ritual. Okay, let's see about the other three-dimensional aircraft they made. This one is called the bison with the turned head. It was made from a bone, and you can see it's not completely naturalistic looking. It has several abstraction to it, which means they simplify parts or change it, not the way its natural appearance. And also you can see this one is also bison, and it's like a relief, which means it's carved out but still attached part from the original material. Like for this one is clay, but it's unbaked. Okay. Also, besides from the natural animals, they use it for subject. They also create some abstraction or even non-existent subject like this one. It's an anthropomorphic lion, which means it's a man shifting into a lion. It's more it's represent is shaman magic, one of the shaman magic. They believe if you played Far Cry before, the Far Cry Primal, you can see they're using the animal vision or even like shifted into the animal itself. So they believe the shaman has that kind of power. And you remember the crazy shaman always want you to dream some hallucinations, and it can be used for ritual too. Since back to the cave painting, they are not just on the outside of the cave. They're relatively deep down into the cave. Some even have to cross through narrow passes. That's why they are still preserved until nowadays, because they're really hard to find. They just not randomly, like pick a rock or a pigment and draw on walls. They believe there's purpose of it, and it's probably kind of sacred for them back then. Okay. And as I mentioned about the giving birth is a big thing, a big deal back then. So one of the signature sculpture back in that time is this one. It's called Venus, Willendorf. You can see it's a some human feature is being exaggerated. Then some believe this is the one sculpture when pregnant women made and praying for fertility and just successfully giving birth to their baby. And one interesting point of view is you cannot see their faces, and from the top down angle you can see it's pretty, because the for shortening and stuff. They probably don't have a clear mirror back then, so if they want to do the self-portrait or sculpture, it might look like just like this sculpture, the Venus sculpture that they made for the ritual reason. But yeah, it's just a assumption. And for the men, well, there's something called the phallic sculptures. And you can guess it. Yep, people have done this for thousands of years, and it's nothing too special. And it can be multiple purpose to, well, some say it's just for pleasure, it's the ancient dodo. And some say it can be tools. Well, the resource back then probably will be very limited. So, yeah, just making everything you got the best you can. And you can also be praying for fertility as well. And for the last one I'd like to share with you is called the 3-horse head sculpture. If you see closely, you can find out there's a horse skeleton and the young pony and the mature horse. This particular sculpture is not only just describing 3 horses. You can see in the circular motion that it represents a full life circle. So human back then, it wasn't that shallow. Well, they do have something in their mind, and they are using their limited resource and trying to represent it as the best as they can. And this leaves us clue to see how an prehistorical people live and fighting, struggling through the environment back then. Okay, that's probably all for today's video. If you like this, please drop a like, and please don't hesitate to leave in the comment section if you have any further question. And I will see you all in the next video. Thank you.